Welcome to the Find My New Life podcast. I'm Christopher Lapine, spiritual liberation author and speaker. This podcast brings you inspiration, hope, and answers for how to live a modern, God-centered spiritual life. It will help you have a more direct, deeper experience of God, find more happiness, and live your incredible God-given destiny. You can find all my podcasts, as well as videos, books, and more at findmynewlife.com. So, let's get started with today's show. Hello, this is Chris. This is the podcast for January the 23rd, 2023, the fourth podcast of the year, The Secret of Spiritual Alchemy, Wholehearted Spiritual Alignment. Today, I'm going to give you a secret, a key, a technique that's going to unlock all the spiritual power, all the potential within you for this moment of time in this material place. And the reason it's so powerful is that it's so simple. It's basically the way that the Creator gave us to unlock these secrets. And it's really about the truth of who you are, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So today's podcast is going to give you these key things that is going to help you move forward if you apply them. The first is I'm going to tell you about the truth of how you can transform and what that really means. The things you can transform, what's reasonable to expect. You're going to have a very clear understanding of the transformation process, the principles of that transformation. I'm going to give you a very simple, reliable technique, and if you apply it, it's going to help you make progress every time. And that's really the point of all this. You're going to get more peace, more assurance, more security, more confidence, and joy. You're going to begin to have more power within yourself, which you can project out into the world to do things. I believe in you. You are a child of the Creator. You deserve a better life, a more progressive life, no matter where you stand. There's always infinitely more that you can do because you can have an eternal existence. So you may be in a tough place right now where you want to transform, where you're looking to bump it up to the next level, the next vibration, the next dimension. And that's all dependent on alignment with the divine, with immersion with the total source of energy and power and love in the universe. The good news is that you have this inside you. So let me talk about the ingredients first. The first thing to realize is that deep, deep inside you, like me, have a hunger. We have a hunger to be better, to transform, to have an incredible journey. We have a hunger to know the truth about ourselves, the universe, and God. And the Creator put that hunger there. But fortunately, the Creator also gave us the answer within. The Creator has placed in each of us has a unique piece of God. This is a unique fragment of the Universal Father. This unique fragment is your unique personal spirit guide that knows everything about you and was sent by God to help you through this life, to discover who you are, to be energized, to be powerful, to transform, and to make the world a better place. This spirit is here to teach you how to think more spiritually, how to act more spiritually, and how to know the universal Father of the entire universe. Your God, the Mother, comforts you, surrounds you, helps you be at peace, nourishes you with the Holy Spirit. But this is all working toward your realization of the total power within. And that total power comes from your loving, loving Father. God is not a male, God is not a female, but God takes the role of a father because He's created the universe, He has created you, He sustains it, He has projected it, He envisions it all. He's got the plan. Everything's working toward that, and you are an integral part of that. So to get back to it, all those desires for adventure, for being more, for transforming, for making a difference, all those hunger for spiritual experience is all dependent on your choice. And I'm going to give you the secret on that today. So realize that you have an absolute fragment of divinity inside you. Think of the incredible power. There is absolutely no limit to the transformations you can make. There is no limit to your future. Please remember that. I believe in you. I believe in us. You've heard me say this before. So it's really incredibly good news. It's just amazing. So let's talk about transformation. Transformation is really the process of moving from one mode to another. It's not a switch that you throw, but it's a gradual accumulation. Think of it this way. Visualize it this way. You have a teeter-totter. And if you don't know what a teeter-totter is, go ahead and look it up online. But it's basically a balance in a playground. One kid sits on one seat, another sits on the another seat, and those seats are both on a pole that pivots, back and forth. It's a balance. So think of it this way. Most of your life, most of your investment of effort is on one side of the teeter-totter. So it's balanced out pretty heavily on that side. On the other side of the teeter-totter is really your next phase, moving to the next phase. So when you take those moments to begin to try as hard as you can, because it's really hard to get to the other side of the teeter-totter, but when you put out total effort, and it doesn't matter for how long, maybe it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe it's an hour, maybe it's a day, every moment that you put out total effort puts a little bit of you on the other side of that teeter-totter. So every time you do it, it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more, and you can see it starts to get heavier over there. And eventually, the amount of yourself that you've put on the other side of that teeter-totter tips it to a new vibration, a new level, a new dimension in your life. So remember, every time you try to pour your heart out to God, you spend time with God. Every time you try to understand what that divine will is, every effort you make to try to do what God wants you to do, every effort you make to show love, to be kind, to help others, to get beyond yourself, every time you do that, you're putting a little bit more of yourself on that other side of the teeter-totter. And eventually, see what happens? It starts to tip. And you can feel yourself drawing into that next level. And then there's a tipping point where it goes all the way down and touches the ground. And now you're at a new level, a new vibration, a new dimension, a new level of realization and actualization of yourself. And when that happens, you're able to function at a higher level. But it's only when you try as hard as you can that you can actually put some of yourself on the other side. And that's what wholeheartedness is all about. Think of it in terms of any business that you know. If you've ever been involved in a business, starting up from scratch, a nonprofit, starting a garden, learning a new task, it doesn't matter what it is. Just think of when you knew nothing about it and what your journey was. It's only in those moments when you have wholeheartedness. When you are wholehearted, you're basically putting your consciousness, your automatic reactions on hold. You are living in the moment, and that allows you to transform. That allows that spirit within to transform you. So every time you spend time with God, communing with God, listening to God, you are immersing yourself. You're immersing your soul in the total divine energy, that absolute love from the universal Father. And that supercharges your soul. So you got this power. And when you act on that, now you're putting it on the other side of the teeter-totter. And when you get to that tipping point, you're going to pop up to the next level. If you want to shift your life, if you want to move forward, that's what you need to do. Now, a lot of people might say, oh, God, I can't be wholehearted all the time. If you listen to some of these motivational speakers, a lot of them advocate, I want you, you should be working 18 hours a day. You shouldn't be sleeping. You should go, 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 go. Well, that's not true. You really only need to put forth the effort wholeheartedly when you can. We all have different expectations for our lives. But all God cares about is, are you trying? Just try. That's it. What's in your heart? What's your attitude? So let's not have goals that are too high or too unreasonable, and let's not beat ourselves up. But let's not be lazy. Let's not be apathetic. Let's listen to the divine messages within and act on it. God expects us to act on the guidance and the energy we've been given. Follow the guidance, give the energy, take the actions. That's really what being a spiritual adult is all about. Wholeheartedness is like, think of it this way if you look at your life is a picture. Let's say it's a picture of the way you live, your approach to life. Now, every time you're wholehearted, every time you are exercising that divine guidance, it's like you're taking a paintbrush with new colors and you're coloring over in different parts of that picture. The more you do it, the more is transformed, and the more is transformed until finally the entire old life that you have has been transformed, because all of the moments of wholeheartedness merge into this beautiful picture and it pops to the next level. And then that becomes the old picture as you again are given more and more and more to go forward. And it's an incredible, incredible moment. And we can do it really in small ways every day. My point is, you can make progress even at the smallest levels. Let's say you said, I'm just not spending enough time in prayer and meditation. I don't know, I get distracted, whatever it is. And I really can't do it. I haven't been able to do it for years. Look, the only thing you need to do to make progress is to plant a little bit of seed every day and water it, and do it every day, every day. So it might be that you get up in the morning and you pray for 45 seconds. You may think that's ludicrous, but you need to start. And you just pray a little bit more, a little bit more. Same time if you can every day. Every moment you remember to be God conscious, just do it wherever you are. And eventually that will grow. It's like water cutting through solid rock. It takes time, but over time, you get these enduring channels that increase your capacity to receive more of the divine energy and love and guidance from the Universal Father, from the universe. So it's these gradual moments. And it's really not about getting to a destination. You've heard this a lot, but the total joy of the spiritual life is in letting God immerse you and then giving that love to others. It's in the giving that you expand. It's in the giving that you experience the fullness of the forgiveness and love of God. It's only in the giving. We can spend all the time we want, in prayer and meditation and supercharging, and that's fine. But if we don't go out and give it to other people, we're not experiencing it to the depth that we need to. So that's what's really needed here. But I want to give you heart. Again, it doesn't matter how much effort or when these wholehearted moments happen. Just do them, and it'll grow. Don't think about the past. Just do the wholehearted moments, and they will begin to crowd out all the negative things. I promise you. So I want to read some quotes from the Urantia book on wholeheartedness, which I think will really inspire you. So here we go. If mortal man is wholeheartedly spiritually motivated, unreservedly consecrated to the doing of the Father's will, then, since he is so certainly and so effectively spiritually endowed by the indwelling and divine Spirit, there cannot fail to materialize in that individual's experience the sublime consciousness of knowing God and the supernal assurance of surviving for the purpose of finding God by the progressive experience of becoming more and more like Him. Man is spiritually indwelt, If such a human mind is sincerely and spiritually motivated, if such a human soul desires to know God and become like Him, honestly wants to do the Father's will, there exists no negative influence of mortal deprivation nor positive power of possible interference which can prevent such a divinely motivated soul from securely ascending to the portals of paradise. The Paradise Father is likewise the destiny of all those finite personalities who wholeheartedly choose to do the divine will, those who love God and long to be like Him. When man consecrates his will to the doing of the Father's will, when man gives God all that he has, then does God make that man more than he is. So when you do this, when you bring it into life, can you see the effect that it's going to have? How could it not work? Again, go back to the balance of tipping the scales. If you take a scoop of the divine energy and put it on the other side of the balance, and you take a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more each day, it's going to transform you. It's going to tip you to the next level. You will truly have the tipping point. It's the power of your thoughts that really makes a huge difference. Not only do you need to spend time with God, but it's the power of the thoughts. And here is a very, very simple technique which is going to help you. Whenever you feel a desire, whenever you realize it, find a quiet place, if you can, and say everything that's on your mind to God. Share everything with your inner spirit, which is going to go directly to the Universal Father. Talk about your desire to improve. Talk about the challenges you have. Talk about your love for God, your thankfulness to God. Go on and on. Pour your heart out totally. And then say that you want to know the guidance and will live your life by that guidance. And listen. Pour your heart out. Ask for help. Listen. And say you will follow the guidance. And when you do this as often as you can, that is what's going to lead to progress. That's it. Just trust the guidance. Trust the gift that God has given you within. No middlemen need to be involved. You may belong to a group, a church. You may have a spiritual leader who's helping you. That's fine. But ultimately, there should be no one telling you what to do, what to think, or telling you how to live your life. That's really up to you. People can suggest things. So this means there are no middlemen. How can there be middlemen? There's an absolute fragment of God within you. So go with that. Talk to the Father. He wants to know you directly. It's going to lead you to Him. That is the source. And as you're doing this, remember these core realities, these core truths, which are going to help you move forward. First, you were meant to live a better and increasingly improving life, to know joy. Your potential is unlimited. You are a child of the very Creator of the universe. He's got a big plan for you in this life and the next that's going to last for eternity. It's incredible. So just know that you are known and loved by God. Totally. Totally. The mother part of God caresses you, holds you, gives you peace, security, and assurance through the Holy Spirit. And the Universal Father challenges you, directs you, energizes you with the Spirit within and has the plan. There is a divine guide within you, specifically dedicated just to you. But remember, God isn't going to force you into any decision. He's not going to coerce you. It's your choice. He's not going to change any element of you. He won't even change your thoughts unless you give Him permission. Go with that. It's an eternal gift from God. Remember, most of all, you are a child of the very Creator of the entire universe. Every person on earth, everything. Every star, every gas cloud, every galaxy, everything. Just think, there are as many galaxies in the universe as there are glasses of water in all the oceans on the planet. And in each of those galaxies are billions of planets. And on many of those planets are beings. God knows every one. And you are one of those. And God knows you and your thoughts every day. God is your loving, loving, universal Father within. Totally. Not a male. He's beyond that. He is beyond the best thought of what you think a perfect father could be. You may have been abused. You may have had a bad father experience. You may have been neglected. Just please try to suspend that and let the truth from within speak to you. And because of all this, you need to use your faith. So accept the divine reality within and then determine that you're going to start living it in your life. That's faith. Faith is belief applied to motivating your life. Remember, because of this spirit within, because of the common parent, we are all sisters and brothers, all beings, all angels, us, unseen friends, everyone. People on different planets, everybody is a sister and brother. And the only requirement to experience the spiritual reality within, the true immersion, the true embrace of God, is faith acceptance. Accept it. Go to it. Go toward the light. Be energized. Feel the love. Feel your responsibility. Feel your guidance. Discover the adventure. And go into true spiritual alchemy. You are transforming from a mostly material being into a more spiritual being. You're transforming. Whatever spiritual level you think you're at, you can always transform. Always. It's an eternal process. And wholeheartedness is the key. You will find that every limitation of yourself can be transcended. All the character flaws, you name it, it all can be transcended. You're going to find total joy, happiness, transformation by going on this adventure and trusting your loving, loving parent within. You have amazing value and potential. Please don't put yourself down if you've been putting yourself down. If you have been abused or neglected, please don't think it's your fault. It is not your fault. You were not meant to go through these things. All of us face challenges in our lives, problems in our lives, and much of it is because of the choices we make. But please know that God is going to help you move forward. No matter what, you have a future and a destiny. Use your faith. You are a child of the universe, of God. You have light and life and love within you. You can move to a new vibration, a new dimension in this incredible universe of unending adventure, joy, and satisfaction. Alchemy. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. It was great to have you. This has been the fourth podcast of the year, The Secret of Spiritual Alchemy, Wholehearted Spiritual Alignment. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And as always, if you like the podcast, please subscribe, please like, and please share it with others. This is a huge help, my friends. As you know, it's sometimes difficult to get the word out there, so always appreciate your efforts. I wish you all the best. Have a great week.
Thanks for listening today. I hope it helped you on your journey. Go to findmynewlife.com for all my podcasts and much more. If you'd like to contact me with ideas or requests, use the Contact Me link on that website. I wish you the best on your spiritual journey. Remember, you are a child of God and we are family. You could claim an amazing destiny. See you next time.